Diep runs blindly into the forest, dragging Mrs. Huyen and carrying little Nye. She thinks she has outsmarted James. She thinks she has escaped the digital leash. But she forgot the golden rule. James is just a player. His father owns the game board. Suddenly, the world turns white. Floodlights blaze to life from ahead. 3 black SUVs block the clearing. A dozen men in sharp suits stand motionless. The Wolf Team, Mr. Huyen's elite guard. Mr. Huyen steps out of the middle car, holding a black umbrella. He looks at Diep with the disappointed sigh of a teacher watching a student fail. "You turned off the signal," Huyen says calmly over the wind. "Did you really think my son was the only one watching you?" Diep freezes, clutching Nye tighter. She looks back. The road is empty. Vance is gone. She is trapped. "Where is James?" Diep demands, trembling. "Did he send you?" "James is playing hero elsewhere," Huyen chuckles. "I am here to correct his mistakes." He snaps his fingers. "Bring them. Gently." The men move with terrifying speed. Before Diep can scream, they separate Mrs. Huyen and Nye from her. "No, my daughter!" Diep screams, lunging forward, but guards hold her back effortlessly. "The child goes to boarding school," Huyen says coldly, turning away. "My grandson needs a proper education, away from your influence. And you? You are coming home." The transition to the James mansion is a shock. Silence replaces the wind. The smell of expensive polish replaces the wet earth. Diep stands in the grand foyer. The marble floor shines like a mirror, reflecting her filthy figure. The crystal chandelier sparkles overhead. Beautiful, breathtaking, and colder than any prison cell. She is dressed in a stiff gray uniform, the same maid uniform she wore 5 years ago. The front door bursts open. James storms in, Vance trailing behind. James looks frantic, hair wet, chest heaving. He stops dead when he sees Diep surrounded by guards. "Father," James says, his voice tight, "what is this?" Han descends the staircase, clapping slowly. "A compromise. You wanted her safe? She is safe, here, under my roof, working off her debt." James looks at Diep. He sees the uniform. He sees the humiliation burning in her eyes. He realizes Huyen's plan. Humiliation and surveillance. Keep enemies close. "She is a criminal," James says, putting on his mask of indifference. "She shouldn't be in my house." "She is a servant," Huyen corrects him. "And since you paid $1 billion dong for her retrieval, you should get your money's worth. She will be your personal maid, 24 hours a day." Huyen leans in, whispering loud enough for the room to hear. "If she steps 1 foot outside this gate, the child at the boarding school disappears. Do we understand?" James clenches his jaw. He looks at Diep. He has to agree. It is the only way to keep her alive. "Fine," James sneers. "But I don't want to see her face. She stays in the corner. She speaks when spoken to." "Excellent," Huyen smiles. "Dinner is at 7. Don't be late." Later that night, the mansion falls into a heavy silence. In James's bedroom, the air is thick with unspoken words. Diep stands by the door, head bowed. James paces, scanning the corners. He knows they are bugged. He taps his ear, signaling Diep to stay silent. He points to the Persian rug at the foot of the bed. "You sleep there," James says loudly, his voice harsh for the microphones. "You are not worthy of a bed." Diep looks up. Hate burns in her chest, but she understands the game. She nods. She lies on the hard floor, curling up without a blanket, shivering in the AC. James turns off the lights. He lies on the mattress, staring at the ceiling. Huyen is watching. He cannot hold her. He waits 10 minutes. Then he coughs loudly. He pretends to toss and turn aggressively. "Useless maid," James grumbles loudly. "Forgot to close the curtains." He gets up, stomping to the window. On his way back, he accidentally kicks a thick duvet comforter off the bed. It lands right over Diep. Diep freezes. She feels the warmth. "Don't touch it," James hisses in the dark. barely a whisper. I just kicked it off. Leave it there. Diep pulls the duvet up to her chin. Under the cover, her hand brushes against something hard, a small protein bar. She bites into it, tears streaming. He is feeding her. He is keeping her warm. But he has to do it like she is a stray dog he is ashamed of. 7 o'clock. The dining room. The table is set with silver and fine china. Juan sits at the head like a king. James sits to his right. Diep stands by the wall, holding a water pitcher, face pale. Pour, Juan orders. Diep steps forward, hands shaking. She pours wine for Juan, then James. And for yourself, Juan says. Diep stops. Sir? Join us, Juan smiles thinly. A toast to family reunions. Diep pales. She is pregnant. Alcohol could hurt the baby. But if she refuses, Juan, who already suspects, will have his confirmation. She pours a small amount. She sits down, feeling Juan's eyes boring into her. Drink, Juan commands. James grips his fork, knuckles white. Don't drink it, Diep. Fake it. Spill it. Diep raises the glass. The rich smell hits her nose. Her stomach, sensitive from morning sickness, lurches. Nausea rises instantly. Juan watches her throat. Diep tilts the glass. She takes a sip. She forces herself to swallow. It burns. Good, Juan says, satisfied. He cuts his steak. Diep puts the glass down. Bile rises. She clamps her hand over her mouth. Excuse me, she gasps, running to the bathroom. Juan stops eating. He looks at the bathroom door, then at James. Sensitive stomach, James says quickly, cutting his meat. I told you she was sick. Slum food. Maybe, Juan wipes his mouth. Or maybe something else. Juan stands up. He walks to the bathroom door. He listens to the retching sounds inside. James, Juan says, his voice devoid of warmth. Call Dr. Nam. James freezes. Dr. Nam is the family physician, a man who reports directly to Juan. It's just food poisoning, Father, James argues, standing up. We don't need a doctor. I insist. Juan turns, eyes cold as ice. I want a full physical examination. Tonight. If she is sick, we treat her. If she is hiding something, we remove it. Juan pulls out his phone. He dials. Send Dr. Nam to the mansion, Juan orders, staring at James. Tell him to bring the ultrasound kit. James stands paralyzed. The cage just closed tight. The doctor's coming. The secret is over. The heavy door clicks shut as Mr. Han leaves the room to wait for the doctor downstairs. The moment the lock clicks, the mask falls off James's face. The arrogance vanishes, replaced by sheer, unadulterated panic. He rushes to the door and locks it. James, Diep whispers from the wall, her voice trembling. What do we do? If the doctor comes, he won't scan you, James says, his breath coming in short gasps. He paces the room like a caged tiger. If Dr. Nam touches that probe to your stomach, Juan will see the heartbeat. He will kill the child tonight. Then let me run, Diep begs. Open the balcony. No! James stops, grabbing her shoulders. There are guards in the garden. Snipers on the roof. You run, they shoot. We have to stop the exam. We have to give them a reason to cancel it. James looks around the room frantically. He needs a distraction. He needs an alibi. His eyes land on the bedside table. A crystal water pitcher and a glass. An idea forms. A dangerous, painful idea. He looks at Diep. Do you trust me? You put a bounty on me, Diep cries. Do you trust me with our child? James asks again, his eyes intense and desperate. Diep looks at her stomach, then at James. She nods slowly. James walks to the bedside table. He grabs the heavy crystal glass. He doesn't drink. Instead, he wraps it in a hand towel to muffle the sound. Crack. He smashes the glass against the corner of the table. Diep gasps, putting her hands over her mouth. James unwraps the towel. Shards of sharp glass lie there. He picks up a large, jagged piece. He looks at his own left palm. James, no! Diep steps forward, realizing what he is doing. Don't! We need blood, James says, his voice shaking slightly. Juan needs to see blood. He needs to believe you are hemorrhaging, that you lost the baby. James takes a deep breath. He looks at Diep one last time. Scream, he whispers. When I do it, scream like you are in pain. He slices the glass across his palm. It is deep, violent. James grunts, his knees buckling from the sudden shock of pain. Blood, dark and rich, wells up instantly, dripping onto the expensive carpet. James, Diep rushes to him, grabbing his wrist. You're bleeding too much. It's not enough, James hisses through clenched teeth. He pulls away from her. He stumbles to the bed. He rips the duvet cover back, exposing the pristine white sheets. He holds his bleeding hand over the center of the mattress, right where Diep's hips would be. Drip, drip, drip. The red stain blooms on the white cotton like a terrifying flower. It grows larger, messy, and undeniable. Get in, James orders, pointing to the bed. Lie down, on the blood, now. Diep stares at the red patch. It is his blood. He is spilling his own life to protect the life inside her. Do it, Diep, James shouts, sweat pouring down his face. They will be here any second. Diep climbs onto the bed. She lies down, positioning herself over the stain. James smears more blood on her uniform skirt, on her inner thighs. It looks gruesome. It looks real. James tosses the glass shard under the bed. He grabs a clean towel and wraps his hand tightly, applying pressure to stop the flow. The white towel turns red instantly. Listen to me, James kneels beside her, his face pale from blood loss. When they come in, you are in agony. You have cramps. You are bleeding out. It is a miscarriage. Do you understand? You cry. You beg them to save you. Diep reaches out and touches his pale cheek. Her tears mix with the sweat on his face. You hurt yourself, she whispers. For me. For us, James corrects her. He leans his forehead against hers for 1 second. A stolen moment of intimacy in the eye of the storm. I am the villain, remember? Villains do whatever it takes. Heavy footsteps echo in the hallway. Voices. Mr. Hahn is back. James stands up. He shoves his bandaged hand into his pocket to hide the injury. He messes up his hair. He puts on the mask of the frantic, annoyed master. He unlocks the door. He waits. The door handle turns. James rips the door open before Juan can enter. He puts on a show. Where is the damn doctor? James shouts into the hallway, his voice full of fake panic. She's bleeding all over my sheets. It's disgusting. Diep on the bed lets out a low guttural moan. She clutches her stomach, curling around the fake bloodstain. James turns back to Diep, shouting loudly for the benefit of the approaching audience. I told you not to eat that trash. Look at this mess. You're ruining the mattress. He looks at Diep. His eyes are hard, angry, playing the role perfectly. But his hand, the one hidden in his pocket, is trembling uncontrollably from the pain. He has set the stage. The blood is there. The miscarriage is real to the naked eye. Now he just has to pray that Juan believes the lie before he notices that the blood on the sheets matches the blood dripping from James's pocket.
Diệp bị Mr. Hoàng bắt lại và đưa thẳng về biệt thự trên, bị ép mặc đồng phục bởi người hầu để dễ giám sát và làm ngục. Để đánh người cha, Diêm buộc phải đóng vai kẻ tàn nhẫn, bắt Diệp ngủ dưới sàn, đối xử lạnh lùng trước mặt mọi người, nhưng âm thầm che chở cô bằng chăn và thức ăn. Trong bữa tối, Hoàng cố tình ép Diệp uống rượu thử phản ứng, rồi quyết định gọi bác sĩ riêng mang máy siêu âm, nghi ngờ cô mang thai. Bị dồn đến chân tường, James nghĩ ra một kế hoạch tuyệt vọng, tự rạch tay mình, dùng máu giả làm dấu hiệu sảy thai để lừa Hoàng và hủy cuộc khám. Anh chấp nhận đau đớn, đổ máu để cứu đứa bé trong bụng Diệp, tiếp tục vai diễn ác nhân trước mặt cha.